Good evening, and a joyous and luminous Chanukah to all of you. Honorable Governor Patrick, Consul General of Israel to New England, Shai Bazak, our honored lamplighter, founder of Highfield's capital, and philanthropist, Mr. Jonathan Jacobson, esteemed Chabad rabbis and leaders from across the greater Boston area, ladies and gentlemen, and especially the children who are gathered with us here tonight, welcome to Chanukah in Copley Square, a celebration of light, unity, and liberty. Tonight, we celebrate the fifth night of Chanukah, the fifth night of that great celebration of human freedom, the Festival of Lights. The story of Chanukah, we all know, has all of those noble characteristics of heroism, unshakable faith and providence, enduring hope and optimism, and yes, uncommon valor in the most dangerous of circumstances. And yet, 300 years after the Chanukah story, after 300 years of consistent menorah light celebrations, an ancient Jewish text known as the Talmud asks the question, "My Chanukah, what is Chanukah?" Yes, Chanukah brought about national independence, religious freedom, the rectification of a home that the prophet calls a house of prayer for all nations. Yes, Chanukah tells the story of the few being victorious over the many, the weak and the feeble over the mighty and strong, the forces of unity over disunity. But what is the essence of Chanukah? What is the miraculous nature of Chanukah? The Talmud's response, light. After years of Judaism being outlawed on its ancestral homeland, after years of temple looting and the menorah's oil being polluted by the Hellenic regime, the Hasmoneans searched the sanctuary and found a small jug of pristine oil with the high priest's insignia still intact. The oil, however, was sufficient to last for only 1 day, but miraculously it lasted for 8 days. My master and teacher, the light of my life, the Lubavitcher Rebbe of righteous memory, taught the timeless metaphysic of this answer. The Rebbe explained that this is the very genius of Chanukah. This is where Chanukah appears in all its richness and splendor. That every human being has this gift of inviolable, incontaminable Chanukah oil, that when a flame can burn ad infinitum, that unlike the Hellenist who sought to shackle and imprison man to finite cognitive and aesthetic classifications, the Rebbe explained that Chanukah teaches us that there's a light in man that is infinite and boundless, birthless and deathless, unclassifiable and indefinable, that just simply is, and when ignited can achieve an unconditional metamorphosis of the darkest dark into the brightest light. Thus tonight in Copley Square, like never before, let us make this commitment to the ethos of menorah light, which is kindled after sunset, conveying one of the most global, efficacious instructions of all. When a person finds oneself in a situation of after sunset, when light of day has given way to gloom and darkness, as was the case in those ancient days under the Hellenic rule, one must not despair. On the contrary, one must fortify oneself with complete trust in God, the essence of goodness, and take heart in the firm belief that darkness is only temporary and it will soon be superseded by a bright light which will be seen and felt all the more strong through the supremacy of light over darkness. We can't thank him enough for setting aside time to join us in tonight's celebration. We are very grateful and honored by his presence and participation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a very warm welcome to the Governor of the state of Massachusetts, the Honorable Deval Patrick.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rabbi, and to you and all of the leadership of the Chabad community in our area. And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for the kind invitation to join you in lighting the menorah on this fifth night of Hanukkah here in Copley Square. We were together, my friend and brother Shai Bazak, the Consul General from Israel here in New England, just earlier this week to light, was it this week? Yes. To light the menorah in the State House. And I brought with me a proclamation, which is one of the things, Jonathan, that you get to do as governor, proclaim things. To proclaim it Hanukkah. And I thought to myself, a higher authority has already done this. You really don't need my proclamation. It is my honor and joy to be with you all, to recognize the significance of an ancient truth, which is that freedom is light. And let us all let that light shine in our lives, in our communities, in our Commonwealth, and in our country, and indeed in the hearts of those especially suffering all around the world. Happy Hanukkah, everyone, and thank you for including me.
Thank you for your warm words, Mr. Governor. Representing our brothers and sisters in Israel, where the miracles of Hanukkah took place, it is my great pleasure to call on the Israeli Consul General to New England, Mr. Shai Bazak, to share Hanukkah greetings.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. Thank you very much, Governor Patrick and John Jacobson. You are really brave to stand here in this freezing night just for the Hanukkah. So you are really the chosen people, or may I say the frozen chosen. I just want to bring you the greetings of Hanukkah from Jerusalem, the eternal capital of the state of Israel. And may we all have a peace and security and prosperity for the state of Israel and for the Jewish people, wherever they are, wherever they light the candles tonight all around the world. Thank you very much. Very cold.
More on a serious note, I want to just take a moment to offer our prayers and well wishes to our mayor, Mayor Thomas Menino. May he have a complete and speedy recovery.